You may have seen a tweet that hinted at a Lato and Bratton Vandal.
Hint, hint, Rev's Twitter.
And perhaps a peculiar mod exists in the fray.
Hey, what's up you guys, this is Rob from The Gay Guy Plays, and today on #confirmed, we've got some juicy new updates that came from the most recent primetime on some stories that we covered a little bit earlier. Now, what I went ahead and did is instead of going ahead and just giving you little bits and pieces on different videos, is I've actually scrapped that original video, so you might hear some repeat information, mainly because of the fact that I figured let's just go ahead and condense it in one little bit. However, for the most part, I do have some updates for you. So we'll be covering the Hystrix, we'll be covering the new Onslaught game mode and some of the details that go along with that, as well as the rewards that are available. So let's just go ahead and jump straight on in. Now, as you guys know, one of the new weapons that is coming up with the Beast of the Sanctuary update is the Hystrix. Now, one of the unique features to the Hystrix is the fact that it can change its base element. Now, it does have some IPS in there. I think it just has some P and some S. And then it's got its elemental built in. But one of the things that you'll notice right here is in its statistics, it does have a high critical chance and a high critical multiplier. The only issue with that is it has a low status chance. Now, usually that's not necessarily a big deal, mainly because of the fact that, you know, it's a critical weapon, but this weapon can swap its element. So a lot of people were really hoping for a status-based version so that we could go ahead and apply different elements onto this and maybe, you know, strip armor, maybe cause some radiation, do something along the lines of that, or even pair it up with condition overload. I know a lot of people wanted to do that, but they saw that 6% status and they were like, what is going on? This thing is not going to be able to proc status. That kind of sucks. Now, what we went ahead and did is there's actually a post from DE Danielle, as you can see right here, that shows that the Hystrix will actually have forced procs. Now, upon further examination, and some of the people at the comment section did point it out, is that this thing is only proccing base elements. So it's only proccing fire, ice, electricity, and toxin. And we don't really have any confirmation as to whether that will combine into the actual mods in there. I just want you guys to know that I did reach out to some DE employee to see if I could get any further information or clarification on whether it does combine, and they could not tell me. So I don't know if they're trying to keep secrets or what they're trying to do, but I did take a closer look at the footage just so that you guys are aware, and I didn't see any random procs of a combined element. So some people are saying right now it would be way too powerful if it procced, if we're able to proc 100% of the time the combined elements on your weapon, but at this point in time it doesn't necessarily show that it does or it doesn't. So that's still up in the air. I'm crossing my fingers for it being able to go ahead and actually swap into the elemental combos that are into your weapons and be able to proc those 100% of the time. But it is a little bit OP, so we'll see how all of that goes. But wanted to let you know, I did ask. Okay, so let's go ahead and chat about the Onslaught mission type. You're actually going to have two ways to access this. You can go ahead and jump on board from your ship, kind of like a normal drop-down menu, the standard, or you can actually go to Samaris himself to gain access to one of these two types. And there are two types. The base is 20 to 30, and that's just the standard type. And then you can actually go into a challenge mission type, which is going to occur weekly, and that is 75 to 90. Now, when we talk about the challenge mission type, specifically what's happening is you're going to get the same tiles with the same types of enemies all throughout the week. It's going to happen in the same format every single time. And the cool thing about that is you can kind of learn as you go through what enemies you're going to face. And then what you're going to have to do with that is you can kind of tailor your builds, tailor the group setup that you have so that you can kind of go deeper and deeper and deeper and get more of the rewards. Now, let's go ahead and chat about exactly how this mission works. So at its base, you're going to have a timer up on your screen that is going to last 2 minutes and 50 seconds. So each tile will be up for 2 minutes and 50 seconds, then a portal will occur and you'll be able to jump into the next tile. During this 2 minutes and 50 seconds, you'll actually have a little circle that's going to appear. I believe it's like the same place where your survival life support thing appears, and it's kind of very, very similar. So this efficiency bar, even though it's a circle, basically fills up as you kill enemies. So the more enemies you kill, the higher efficiency you're going to maintain. And what'll also happen within each tile is there will be two efficiency macaronis. What did she call it? I'm sorry. Megan has been rubbing off on me a little too much. It's called efficiency stimulus. So you'll actually be able to get these two kind of little orbs that spawn, which is called efficiency stimulus, and they'll add 10% more efficiency to your bar. So think about it as a big life support blob. So you kill to maintain a high efficiency, or you get these efficiency stimulus blobs in order to boost up your efficiency. If that efficiency timer ever goes down to 0, then that is when your time in the simulacrum or the sanctuary onslaught is over. So that is what will go ahead and end your time there. Also note that this efficiency timer, the little circle that's there, it actually carries through across each portal. So, if you've been doing great in your mission, and you've been doing a lot of kills and keeping your efficiency high, what's going to end up happening is that you'll carry over that high efficiency into the next round. However, if your efficiency is low and you haven't been able to get as many kills as you'd like, what ends up happening is you carry that low efficiency over into the next round, and you really have to grind out to kind of maintain that level of efficiency. So do keep that in mind as you're going deeper and deeper into the Sanctum, because, you know, once it's down, you're done, you're graded, it's over. Now, when it comes to rewards, this is really, really interesting, is you actually get your rewards every 2 rounds. So it's A, B, C, just kind of like, you know, everything they do with defense, interception, and survival. But each round is actually 2. So your first tile and your second tile count as A. Then your third and your fourth count as another A. Then your your fifth and your sixth count as B. And then your seventh and your eighth count as C. So that's how it works. The first 2 rounds is A, the next 2 rounds is A, the next 2 rounds after that is B, and the last 2 rounds following that is C. Hopefully that all made sense to you guys, and just keep in mind that after you're rewarded, after each of these 2 rounds, you do have a chance to get parts of Korra, because she will be found in the sanctuary. And then in addition to that, they have stated that if you are doing the challenge modes, you can also get Endo, but more importantly, fully radianted relics. So any of the relics that you get during the challenge mode should be fully radianted for you. No need to spend any of your void milk, void juice, void traces. That's what it's called. I can never remember the name. So that's one of the cool things that you can actually get in there. So the only things that you do need to know, and this is something that's very, very interesting, is that you will not be able to use gear in Sanctuary Onslaught. So definitely keep that in mind when you bring in your builds, because you won't have access to energy or health pizzas. You won't be able to use any specters of any sort. So make sure you tailor your loadouts to that, whether you build higher efficiency on your Warframes, or maybe you go ahead and bring in Xeneric to kind of keep your energy up that way. Do be aware that there are Parasitic Eximus in there, and as Rebecca was playing, she was complaining about the fact that, yeah, she wasn't going to be able to keep her energy up with the Parasitic Eximus using her Energize on its own. So definitely keep that in mind. Now, let's go ahead and actually talk about some of the additional rewards that come along with this. So far on the list of rewards, we've got Korra, Radianted Relics, some Endo in there, and Rebecca also said that there might be something else. And then she ended up confirming it. She was like trying to be all coy and be like, oh no, if you checked my tweets earlier. I'm like, girl, just say it. And then she said it. She did confirm that both the Lato Vandal and the Bratton Vandal will be a part of the Sanctuary rewards, in addition to the single peculiar mod that they will be releasing. So for those of you guys who aren't aware and didn't get to read that dev workshop, they're going to be launching that one peculiar mod for now, just one. They're not going to put in too many, but what they are going to end up doing is seeing the kind of like reception to it and how people are liking it and whatnot, and then they're going to make their further decisions from there depending on like the peculiarity. But one of the things that is really big is the fact that we do have access to the Bratton Vandal and the Lato Vandal. These are closed beta items that were only available during that time period. So I know that there's a lot of people that want to get their hands on this, and I think that this is a very, very exciting, because me personally, I wasn't able to get my hands on it. Now, I'm going to say this right now. If they had kept it exclusive to closed beta, I would be 100% fine with that, because I understand the meaning of prestige and the meaning of you were there during closed beta, I don't want to take your shine for you. But DE has decided to go ahead and release this, and I think that the people from the closed beta did say that they felt alright about it, aside from us founders who are like, nah, don't touch our Excalibur Prime and any of the shit that came along with it. So, with that said, we can look at these beautiful metallic weapons, which hopefully we will be able to color straight out of the gates, and I figured that in addition to what we're kind of doing now, we could go ahead and look at some of their stats. Now, I'm actually looking at this and I'm like, this is not terrible. So as you can see, the Lato Vandal actually has a 26% critical chance and a 2.4 times critical multiplier. I'm like, that is not bad at all. It is Mastery Rank 7, so do keep that in mind. And I believe the majority of it is slash damage. The only thing you have to keep in mind is that it does have only a 10% status chance. So as compared to my Lato Prime, and this is kind of like the reason that I'm bringing this up, because I'm like, it's actually not that bad. It's got a lower base damage at 46 instead of 48. So that's only 2 points down, really. It's got a lower critical chance, which is only down by like 4%, but it does have a higher critical damage multiplier at 2.4 instead of 2 times. So I'm like, okay, so it kind of makes up for it because it hits a little bit harder in the crit section, right? The only thing that does hurt it, like I said, is that it has a lower status chance by 10%. That can mean a lot when it comes to certain builds. It has lower fire rate, but it does have a higher accuracy. So part of me is kind of like, I want to get my hands on it and see if it does do a little bit better, because it is, even though it is just a Mastery Rank 7, the statistics don't say that it's actually all that bad. So I'm very, very curious about that. Moving along, we have the Bratton Vandal. Now this one is a Mastery Rank 4, so I'm a little bit like, oh, I don't know how that's going to be. But it does have a base of slash damage again, and it's got 16% crit chance, 2 times crit multiplier, and 16% status chance. And I'm like, that is not far off from the Bratton Prime. So if we take a look at the comparison here, they have equal base damage but a different composition. So they've kind of swapped around their impact and puncture, but still means that slash is still the highest out of all of them. So it has a higher critical chance than the Bratton Prime. The Bratton Prime is only at 12%, but the Bratton Vandal is 16%. Now, again, it does have a lower status chance by 10%. So you can see the Bratton Vandal is at 16%, while the Bratton Prime is at 26%. So I'm like, okay, I really want to kind of like test things out and see how it all feels. The fire rate is lower. It does have a smaller magazine, but it does have a faster reload speed and it is more accurate. So as we know already, Mastery Rank kind of dictates the efficacy of a weapon. So part of me is not like super ridiculously hopeful, but I'm like, this might still be usable for some people out there. So I'm definitely excited to go ahead and take a look at that. I do have like one more thing. Oh, that's just the dome. Regardless, this does kind of make me excited to see exactly what's going to happen in the world of the Vandals and all of that. I can't wait to get my hands on it and at least fashion frame it, toss some form on to see how those babies work. Can't wait to see. They were only putting one peculiar mod in, so I'm like kind of curious. I'm like, is this going to be a rare thing? Is it going to be hard to get your hands on? Regardless, I'm very curious how you guys are feeling out there right now, knowing that the Vandals are going to be free and loose for you guys to pick up. Are you excited over the Hystrix? Do you think that they're going to let us have like full control over like its status, or is it just going to kind of like pump out base status effects, which I will be a little sad about. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Regardless, toss all of your feelings in the comments below. Let me know if you guys are excited. And as you guys can probably tell, this update does not look like it's going to be coming out tonight. However, we might see it first thing tomorrow. So, let me know all of your feelings down in the comments below. And as always, love somebody, hurt nobody, and touch your body. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.